Hi, it's Michael. Riding with or without all the gear all the time has been discussed probably a billion times, and there are billion opinions on it. This talk is not to give an opinion, it's just to present two things. One is talk about the hidden factors, and the second one is to talk about your message to the universe, to the existence, and that has nothing to do with opinions, and that can shed and should shed different light on the whole matter. So first, the hidden factors. You don't know what is in your subconscious. You don't know what patterns and things you attract from and pull from the unconscious. You don't know what your negative karma may or may not be. If you never heard about karma, then it can be replaced with your spiritual bank account. It has been well established beyond any doubt that our negative actions earn us negative points on the spiritual bank account, and our positive actions earn us positive points in the spiritual bank account. And eventually there come circumstances when we draw on this bank account. So you don't know where you are at with your spiritual bank account, what negative points you may have there, and when they will surface. So whether you are the most experienced rider, an expert, motorcycle guru, you can do the motorcycle police rodeo blindfolded backwards, just like that. Or you are a beginner, it doesn't matter. When that pattern comes to you, to the surface from your subconscious or unconscious, or from your negative karma, then pretty much your riding skills are pretty much pushed aside, could be said, because the pattern takes over. It takes over the controls. And it must have happened to everybody on this planet, including you, that sometimes you do a thing that it's like you blanked. For a half a second you blanked, and you've done something that you wouldn't otherwise do, and usually not something very positive, not very helpful. It might have resulted in some pain or some discomfort or some grief. And you must have wondered, how did this happen? How did this happen? It is because sometimes these patterns, or many times these patterns, come from the invisible into the visible, and then they are in control, and whatever happens, happens. So you don't know what's inside of you and what can come to the surface. Now, there is this well-documented case of this extremely positive person, one of the most positive individuals on this planet, and working as a carpenter, as always, using a saw, sawing a piece of wood, and one of these patterns, this karmic pattern from the spiritual bank account came up, and zhunk, part of his thumb came off. Okay, he's done cutting wood billion times probably, and no problems until then, and all of a sudden something happens. Another example from this life is running, trying to catch a traffic light which was going to turn about red very soon, so running on the sidewalk where I walked a million times before and never any problems. And at the time there was tripping, and the tripping resulted in a bad crash into metal bars that were covering a basement window. And so again, where did that come from? Well, it was a karmic pattern. It came from the spiritual bank account. So regardless of your riding skills, you don't know. And the resulting accident or incident that may come from your subconscious or from the unconscious or from karma may be relatively minor by itself, but if you're not protected, if your body is not protected, then even a minor fall can result in a major discomfort and a long-term pain. So is it worth it? Second thing is the message you are sending to the universe about your approach to life. If you ride just in your t-shirt and sometimes even just in shorts or whatever without proper protection, what message are you sending to the universe? Can you guess? Our life is a precious gift from the universe, from existence, from the divine, whatever wording you prefer. And if we unnecessarily jeopardize it, what message are we sending out there? That we don't really care that much? Yeah, perhaps, right? So if you're sending out message that you don't take it too seriously, that you don't care very much, what do you think you attract to yourself? You attract what you send out. Like attracts like a magnet. You attract to yourself what you're sending out. So if you're sending out messages that you are willing to take risks, well, risks may come your way. Eventually you might have had 1 million safe miles, but you never know what's in the invisible world. So, and yes, of course, the excuse is that it's too hot and cannot ride in proper gear. It is bullshit. There are very good mesh jackets, mesh pants, mesh riding gloves. I've ridden in a temperature that the air felt like a hair dryer pointed at the body. It was so hot, and it was in a mesh riding jacket from Alpine Star, and it was very good actually, because not only it felt about as cool as it could have, but the mesh riding jacket was protecting the skin from the intense sun. One more thing: if you drink alcohol, if you smoke, if you're taking drugs, not before you, I don't mean before you ride. It is meant anytime. If you smoke, take drugs, even supposedly weak drugs like cannabis, or drink alcohol, you are increasing the chance that something unpleasant will happen tremendously. It doesn't mean that something will happen, but you're increasing the chances tremendously. Now, all this is not to introduce fear, to scare you. It is just to bring a proper respect to life and to riding. All right? Okay, so now this is really it. I wish you healthy and joyful riding. Michael out.